Hello and welcome to this special video presentation featuring the CorpsAfrica volunteer. I'm Pierre Thiam, a proud member of the CorpsAfrica Board of Directors. The COVID-19 has rocked the world, and there isn't a single community in the world that hasn't been affected with this virus. Even during this time of uncertainty, our volunteers and staff in Malawi, Senegal, Morocco, and Rwanda have shown their leadership, courage, and resilience in the face of this immense challenge. In this video, you will see how life has been like in these 4 countries and how our volunteers have stepped up to help. As you know, they have chosen to stay on their site and use their need-based intervention skills in their communities to implement COVID-19 related projects. We want to also thank the staff who have been with them every single step of the way, providing much needed leadership and moral support. I'm so impressed with the amazing impact that these volunteers have had in their communities during this time, and I'm excited for you to take a peek into their world. On behalf of all of us at CorpsAfrica, I hope you enjoyed this short video, and thank you for your support.
COVID-19 experience as a CorpsAfrica volunteer is unforgettable. You know, volunteering is an experience that stays with you forever. So I've got many interesting stories to tell to my grandchildren because I served rural communities during the most difficult time the world has ever experienced, where everyone was full of fear and confused. But with my community, we hope that we will get through it all together.
Le service de CorpsAfrica nous a donné une expérience vraiment inoubliable. Non seulement ça nous a aidé, ça nous a facilité à répondre vraiment à un engagement citoyen à travers un service de volontariat, mais également l'impact que nous avons fait au niveau durant la pandémie du coronavirus reste vraiment des moments inoubliables.
What I'm proud of is like being at the front to face the pandemic, being in a village that really needs someone to guide them through the pandemic.
We tell my grandchildren that being a CorpsAfrica volunteer during COVID-19 have helped me to realize the value of helping my country.
Alors, donc face à cela, notre petite expérience, cela nous a montré qu'il fallait avoir une capacité de résilience à réfléchir à de manière innovante pour pouvoir mettre en place les produits d'hygiène sanitaire de base, comme le savon, comme l'eau de javel, que nous-mêmes nous pouvons produire dans nos sites au lieu d'aller acheter ça quelque part. Mais non.
My grandchildren, I would say working during the COVID-19 pandemic was not easy at first. But I put myself to a challenge. I told myself, you're going to be here. You're going to help people face this challenge. We're going to help people understand what COVID-19 is, what we're supposed to do, and we're going to fight it together.
I will tell my grandchildren how COVID-19 came and changed life of many people, how many businesses have closed the doors, how we have lost the funds to support the beneficiaries, how many people have lost their jobs. I will tell them how life of this world has totally changed.
My experience as a CorpsAfrica volunteer, especially in this pandemic, will be greatly like a great story to tell, especially to my grandchildren in the future, because it was a risk. I took a risk working with people in the community, saving the people. So I took the risk, and I saved my community, and I'm coming out to be proud. And for once, I think in my life I've made an impact.
I will tell them how I have worked so hard to help my community, to protect them from acquiring or being positive for COVID-19. I will tell them all strategies that I used in order to help them to cope with the crisis. So I think they will be proud of me.
Bonjour, je suis la volontaire Marie-Madeleine Mendy, affectée dans le village de Fadial, qui se situe dans la commune de Nguyen, dans le département de Bourg. Alors, nous avons reçu une aide venant de la fondation Mastercard qui nous a aidé à faire une riposte contre le Covid-19. Alors, avec l'arrivée du Covid-19, la population de Fadial a eu des problèmes avec la fermeture des marchés, le confinement. Donc, il s'est posé un problème d'économie. Et après concertation avec la population, nous nous sommes mis d'accord que les fonds que nous a octroyés Mastercard vont servir à l'achat de l'engrais pour fertiliser nos sols. La communauté dispose d'une vallée de 400 hectares, là où ils cultivent du riz, parce que c'est une population agricole. Donc, nous avons acheté de l'engrais et nous avons fertilisé nos sols. Nos productions ont doublé avec l'arrivée de l'engrais. Si vous voyez tout autour, cela fait partie de la vallée et nous avons mis ici de l'engrais. Alors, nous espérons et nous croyons que la réponse contre le Covid-19 va nous servir toute cette année. Et mes remerciements particuliers vont à l'endroit du GIE de ces femmes qui se battent jour et nuit. Car la production était menacée avec les oiseaux, mais elles se sont données corps et âme pour couper les arbres et se lever à 4 heures du matin pour venir surveiller les oiseaux dans les rizières. Donc ce sont des femmes braves qui méritent un accompagnement complet pour leur pousser jusqu'à bout pour atteindre leur autonomisation envers l'achat du riz. Parce que quand je suis venue ici à Fadial, j'ai trouvé que cette population ne consommait pas du riz venant de l'extérieur. Elle consommait le riz qu'elles cultivaient eux-mêmes. Et alors avec Mastercard, nous pouvons dire que la production, le résultat de cette année va doubler et va nous mener jusqu'à l'année prochaine. Et on pourrait même faire une vente avec les récoltes. Donc, merci à CorpsAfrica, merci Mastercard et merci à ces braves femmes qui sont là pour travailler pour leur développement.
When the Moroccan government announced several restrictions and interventions to stop the spread of the pandemic, our 9 volunteers were working on the last steps to implement their projects with their host communities and NGOs. Since the first week of the spread of the pandemic in Morocco, CorpsAfrica MAOC staff have had several meetings with local authorities to collaborate in designing the best interventions and practices in the concerned areas where our volunteers are serving. From May to September, our volunteers worked remotely to identify needs and design solutions to improve hygiene and put into place measures that help to mitigate the risk of COVID-19 outbreak in their host communities.
Vers le mois d'août, il y a eu allègement des restrictions. On a aussi pu bénéficier d'un soutien financier de l'organisation Mastercard. L'une des rubriques de ce financement était destinée aux volontaires, soit une somme de $1000 par volontaire et par projet.
Within a matter of days, over 1,400 primary school children and over 60 teachers were expected to rejoin their classrooms with little, if any, means of measures in place.
Une fois sur place, les volontaires ont soulevé un besoin éminent et très urgent, celui de l'incapacité des écoles à faire face à la pandémie, à cette pandémie, justement la pandémie du coronavirus. C'est alors que nos volontaires ont décidé d'agir à ce niveau et de doter les écoles de thermomètres, de fournir des masques de protection, du savon liquide, d'aménager les latrines dans les écoles, de fournir des citernes d'eau, de mettre en place des installations de lavage.
Je vais me faire le plaisir de laisser mon staff individuellement, chacun vous donner une part de la réponse apportée à la COVID.
Cette année a été très particulière pour CorpsAfrica, mais ça n'a pas empêché aux volontaires d'impacter dans leur communauté. Et je me dis même que les volontaires ont impacté doublement.
Parce que comme vous le savez, nous avons 19 volontaires et nous sommes dans 8 régions autour du Sénégal. Et nous étions en préparation de in-service training quand le gouvernement a décidé de mettre un couvre-feu.
C'est ainsi que nous avons réfléchi à travailler avec des structures de jeunes et établi un partenariat avec le service civique national et les différents départements donc, de Dakar. Nous avons travaillé avec ces jeunes donc, dans la fabrication, dans la production de savon et la fabrication de dispositifs de lave-mains et donc de l'eau de javel. Ce travail nous a permis donc, de faire 5000 litres d'eau de javel, de produire 5000 savonnettes, 300 dispositifs de lave-mains et confectionner avec donc, les services des différents départements qui ont des ateliers de couture à leur sein, 1000 masques pour les distribuer donc, aux différentes populations de Dakar qui étaient épicentres de la maladie.
Ils ont formé des jeunes sur beaucoup d'aspects qui puissent les amener à être résilients, qui puissent les amener à faire face à cette situation de Covid. Donc,
le premier soutien que nous avons, ou bien le premier conseil que nous avons eu à formuler aux volontaires, c'était de les aider à comprendre que cette année est assez exceptionnelle. Et le staff a toujours été là pour les remonter le moral, pour les pousser, pour leur faire comprendre que nous devons réagir avec les communautés, que nous devons faire face ensemble, que nous devons permettre aux communautés d'être durables, de se renforcer pendant cette crise, de trouver des stratégies internes, de trouver d'autres ressources externes pour pouvoir faire face, mais aussi pour continuer à survivre pendant cette année de survenue du Covid-19.
Ce travail était un travail formidable, vraiment remarquable.
We discovered that COVID had hit Malawi in March of 2020, and since then we have done a number of projects that look at how we can help communities and work with communities to support and embrace the COVID-19 pandemic. We have volunteers in 9 different districts, and they have all worked tirelessly to ensure that water sanitation, face masks, and other PPE equipment has been provided to the schools as well as communities around them.
As a country office, one issue that worried us at the time was whether to evacuate the volunteers or not. And we made it clear to them that it's your choice. It was surprising enough for us to see that all of them made a bold move to stay. The volunteers managed to implement a total of 9 projects in response to the COVID-19 pandemic in their communities. The projects were similar in nature, of course tailored according to how each community was affected and the nature of the group that the volunteer was working with. These included distribution of hand wash stations, soaps, and hand sanitizers. Other projects were income generation in nature, and according to all the information that we have gathered, the projects have had an impact to over 15,800 people in the communities.
So again, I would like to thank the volunteers, I'd like to thank the staff of CorpsAfrica Malawi for their endless and tireless efforts in ensuring that COVID-19 was a pandemic which we managed with the communities to ensure that not many lives are lost. And again, I would like to thank OCP and MasterCard for their support in addressing the COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you very much.
It was around 21st of March when the country got its first case. The lockdown, we went in the lockdown for over 30 days or a month. But during this process, the government started putting into place strict measures to make sure that the pandemic or the virus does not spread. Of course, like all organizations, all businesses were kind of affected by the pandemic. Definitely CorpsAfrica was not left out. It has changed a lot, has changed the way we do our work, the way we interact with our communities, our beneficiaries. Volunteers did a lot of work during this pandemic. Remember, first of all, they stayed in their communities. They did a number of things, sensitizing the communities, working with local leaders. Face masks were bought and distributed to their communities, whereby each and every family at least they had over 3 masks to put on when they are going out. Hand washing gadgets were bought and extended to the communities. So to boost the community's immunity, we had to make sure that we make the kitchen gardens where they grow vegetables, and these vegetables helped a lot during this period because the communities are able to access vegetables within their homes. The community members themselves, they were so happy, so grateful about these volunteers. They never left them alone because life was hard during the lockdown. People didn't know, you fear to get out, you fear to do what. But then the volunteers were there, next to them, close to them. They would always call them. When they are out moving, they would see them, comfort them. So this is something that shows how good these volunteers are and how the kind of great work they did.
The support you've provided me in my activities to help support my community have been very helpful, and I hope that moving forward we'll be able to support more and more volunteers, and CorpsAfrica will be present in all the districts across Malawi.
Without your support, we would never achieve such success.
Donc merci à vous chers partenaires, merci à vous chers bailleurs, merci à vous chers donateurs. Donc nous sommes conscients des efforts que vous êtes en train de fournir pour l'épanouissement des communautés et pour le développement des communautés.
Thank you for all the support that you have given our community members. It was very helpful, and you have become their reason to smile and to see a better future.
Car avec ces fonds, nous croyons fermement que c'est une nouvelle ère qui s'ouvre dans notre communauté. Car
to all the supporters that support them in any way, we would like to extend our greatest gratitude for donating to CorpsAfrica. You are impacting a lot of lives.
À vous, les partenaires et donateurs de CorpsAfrica, je vous dis un grand merci. Un très grand merci parce que vous ne savez à quel point vos dons, aussi peu soit-il à votre égard, ont pu faire bénéficier des communautés les plus vulnérables.
Through your donations, CorpsAfrica is able to send volunteers into these rural communities.
I really appreciate your help, and you are really doing a great impact on the Moroccan community.
Keep supporting CorpsAfrica in order to change the life of vulnerable people.